Welcome to Market of the Moment. I'm Sharon Terhune, the Vice President and Sales Manager for Fidelity National Title. And I'm here with Don Tchaikovsky, my partner in crime, and Don is our Director of Channel Sales here at Fidelity National Title. Don, it's June.
Yes, and we are going into summer.
We are going into summer. Lots of people are in and out of some vacations.
Yes.
Seems like everything's busier. I was just in Las Vegas last week and you were in Temecula, and it's kind of crazy how busy everything is, right?
Absolutely.
I think everyone was on pause for a while on taking vacations and now taking them again. But when we go on vacation, we can't just let our business not happen, right?
Right.
So Don and I thought it'd be really fun to give you something to do while you're on vacation on that airplane ride. It could be 1 hour, or it could be 14 hours if you're going to Europe or whatever, but give you something to do, meaning like kind of work on your business a bit,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And that's by working on yourself, and which
Yeah.
is extremely important. We talk about this a lot. We do this here at Fidelity at our sales boot camps. Our team reads a book a quarter, and we also read some joint books together. And it's all about just making ourselves better at sales and who we are and how we talk and how we educate and teach others that we're partnered with.
Absolutely. You know, and over the years I've been at Fidelity, we've had some great books. And so I think what we should be doing here for the next few weeks is we're going to be sharing different books and different opportunities that we've enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then we're going to ask some folks to share some of the books that they like as well.
I love that idea. Like get some other stuff that we're not even. Maybe we'll find our next like 3 books, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And so, you know, and I know, Sharon, you're a bit like me, where the Exactly What to Say book is something that we have both found a lot of value in. And so with that, you know, there's 2 versions of the book, and they're both amazing books, and one is designed for the real estate industry. One is just a general Exactly What to Say. If you haven't taken a look at this book yet, we strongly encourage you to do so. In fact, our Mindy Jones, of the proprietor of the Amy Jones Group, is going to, she's a certified coach, I believe what it is, a certified guide in Exactly What to Say. And so she's one of the very few in the country that is actually teaching classes on Exactly What to Say, how to put these things into practice, and what to do with them. So I think we were going to check in with Mindy and hear a little bit from her about her perspective on the Exactly What to Say and what things people can be using in their business from that book.
Yeah, and before we go to Mindy real quick, Don, I mean, what's really cool about these books, guys, is they give you what they call Mr. Phil Jones, and he's amazing. You can look him up on YouTube and hear him speak about the book as well, you know, for like an hour or 2 at a time. But what's really cool about it is it talks about these magic words, okay, is what he calls magic words. And they're magic words on how you close and really to close people in general.
Yeah.
My favorite one, and I'm going to have Don give his, I'm curious, but my favorite one is almost creating the sense of scarcity, and we're going to talk about scarcity down the road here too, but as you can see, the power of scarcity is sitting right here. But scarcity in business, but using scarcity to an advantage as a salesperson. Because we always think of scarcity and abundance, and we talk about this all the time. We don't ever live in scarcity and always only live in abundance. But honestly, that's true, but for a business aspect, businesses use scarcity every single day. And so my favorite line is one line that just goes like this: this might actually not be for you, but let me show you what this is. Now, I took the takeaway right at the beginning, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the magic words in here. So, Don, what's your favorite?
Well, and that's why I slipped it in already at the beginning of the video.
You did. I know, but they didn't know that.
Yes, yeah. But I bet you're a bit like me, right? So people like to assimilate. They like to be, you know, with people that they think like, and all of that. And so I like to use that in the way that, like, I like to think big. And and the people that I'm working with, I know they like to think big.
Yep.
So the opportunity to say, well, you know, I bet you're a bit like me, and that you would enjoy something like this as well, or that you would see value in this in your business also.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my favorites out of the book as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that also has scarcity in it as well.
Yep.
Keep speaking of scarcities, because they don't want to miss out. You're doing it and you think it's great, so why wouldn't they want to do that as well? So.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, let's hear what Mindy has to say, because I love that she's out there teaching this, and it's such a great message.
Exactly what to say has become a huge part of the work that I do and the mom that I am. And I wanted to share with you guys my 3 most favorite things about the work and why I'm so incredibly excited about helping others change the world through their words and go deeper with the relationships that mean the most to them. The first, real world application. There are some books that you read and shelf and some that you read and highlight and really put to work. My book is completely dog-eared and it's only the beginning. This work is like a practice, meditation, yoga. It's about getting the reps in, trying it, failing at it, and getting just a little bit better every time. It's about creating a new starting line with every conversation that you have. And often that starts at home, a low-risk environment with the people that matter most to you. My second favorite part about this work is the framework. As a certified guide, we encourage thinking just a little bit differently. Instead of being ready to punch at the finish line, we're trying to eliminate the barriers and the objections along the way. This is based on 4 primary principles. The first being the worst time to think about what you're going to say is in the moment that you're saying it. I bet we all can recall a time when with just a little extra planning, our conversations might have gone a lot better. The second is, and this is important, curiosity is the fuel for great conversations. It's not about staying curious or getting curious because it's not something we stop and start. It's the fuel. It's what opens up the opportunity in the conversations that we're having. It's the depth of the relationships that we're trying to build. And the third is that people do things for their own reasons and not ours. And in theory, we get this, right? But the truth of the matter is that we're usually too busy talking about ourselves to really hear what people are saying. And as Phil says, you should never, ever, 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 ever tell someone what they need unless you can start the sentence with, because you said X, Y, and Z. And lastly, the person asking the questions controls the conversation. So the next time you hear an objection at work, you feel the friction in the conversations with your kids or your spouse, ask another question. If we start to see barriers as opportunities to ask just one more question, you'll see the relationships in your life deepen. And the third, well, I think my third favorite part about this work is the magic in knowing that this isn't a script. It's not about you say this and then I say this. It's about changing the way that we think, the way that we show up for the people that matter most to us, and the intention in which we communicate. I started a peer mediation group in 2nd grade, and here I am still talking about the importance of communication. I've just traded the playground for real estate and community, and this right here, talking to you guys. So those are my tips. Here's a few more. Grab the book, listen to the Audible, schedule some time to learn more, to go deeper, try it out with the people that mean the most to you, and sign up for our 31-day challenge. It's a fun way to push yourself into getting just a little bit better every day with your conversations that matter. And by all means, text me with your wins. I know you're going to have some really great stories.
Mindy, thank you so much for your insight in the book. And I love the lessons that you're teaching in this book every day. So, and as a matter of fact, you're meeting with our teams and all that as well. So thank you so much. Mindy, thank you so much. You know, as a certified guide, Mindy teaches classes on exactly what to say and helps people to figure out how to integrate this into their business language. So I would strongly suggest, if it's something you're interested in, reach out to one of us, reach out to Mindy, and find out when the next event is. She's doing several a year. So, okay. Well, thanks again, Mindy. Now let's check in on the mortgage world and what's going on out there with Miss Amber Kovarik at Guild Mortgage. Amber, what you got?
Did you know that 39% of all transactions happening right now are for first-time home buyers? What does your system and process look like to attract in and incubate these buyers? We have quite a window of opportunity for them right now, and I believe that this window is fleeting. As soon as interest rates come down and the demand picks up, these buyers are going to struggle to win. So how are you going to nurture them and get them converted? Lean on us. We are really great at building a path and a plan for these buyers. And as soon as someone has the clear plan, everything seems more real to them. So let us know how we can help and use our first-time home buyer program. It's called 321 Home, and it's a 3% down conventional loan with a $2,000 Home Depot gift card at closing, and then a grant in the amount between $1,100 to $2,100 towards closing costs. Use that. Let them know you have something special for these first-time home buyers. Anything you need, don't hesitate to reach out.
Well, thank you, Amber. Appreciate the mortgage update as always. I know that's definitely a hot conversation every day right now is what's going on in the mortgage world. So thank you for that. How about we parlay back over to Miss Mindy Jones and get our market update and see what's going on there.
The real estate market has started to settle into its typical summer routine, but try telling that to buyers who've lost out in competitive battles with multiple offers over the last couple of weeks, and you're likely to get laughed at. Unlike the seller's market of 2021 and 2022, you can simultaneously have one buyer pledging over asking and waiving contingencies on their dream home, while another snags a deal on a property, typically one that hasn't been quite as updated, that has somehow slipped under the radar. It's no surprise that with prices roughly 9% higher than they were just 5 months ago, new construction is winning the trade-off game, considering they can offer something shiny and new for those bigger pockets that you have to come to the table with. New home sales skyrocketed more than 25% over last month as builders start to get comfortable with the need, and social proof started to build that it was possible to get a cheaper rate than the headlines were running with. With supply plummeting and closings increasing after the last interest rate dip, pricing continues to rise even faster than some predicted, meaning that inventory shortage is likely here to stay for quite some time. In fact, pricing has been on a steady incline since January, and many landlords are starting to pull the trigger on giving their tenants notice in the middle of Arizona's hottest months. Many of these property owners likely would have sold last summer, but the flood of inventory from the big box investors shook up the market, property values took a hit, and leases were renewed in the hopes that when the renewal came up again, we would be nicely situated in recovery mode. All of that has come to fruition, and unfortunately, as the market has improved, the position of renters has gotten even shakier than it was just 2 years ago, when the opportunity for landlords to cash in was so readily available. Between investors creating inventory, an expected rate drop that will encourage both buyer and seller activity, a greater comfort level with leveraging primary assets as rentals, and an equity transition plan option, I would rather be a homeowner and not a home shopper when the floodgates open, which means the clock is ticking. The sense of urgency to find your next home before the next interest rate drop is palpable, and many homeowners are stuck trying to figure out how to make it work. We're starting to see programs pop back up again to access equity without selling, and the momentum is continuing to build despite a summer slowdown, which sounds like a plot twist just waiting to happen.
Thank you again, Mindy. We always appreciate all of your insight into the market and exactly what to say. So, Sharon, I think you're a bit like me, where you're feeling like this is the end of our video for the day, and time to say goodbye to everybody.
Well, Don, you might be, this may not be for you. However, we're going to read another book next week.
Sounds great. Excellent. All right, thank you guys.
Okay,
All right, see you soon.